Hello, everybody. Yay, yay. Let me make sure I got my volume muted. Bear with me 1 second. Yes, yes. Awesome, awesome. Hello, everybody. Oh my gosh. I am outside. It is a gorgeous day here. Oh my gosh. Yes, yes. So I thought I would I thought I would come outside to do this catch up with you all with y'all. Yeah. And you'll hear some whimpering in the background, and I have a pouty pup, right? Um I'll show you that in just a second. But she's not happy with me right now. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yes, yes. She is not happy. Hey, Mouse Toes, how are you, lady? Thank you so much for joining me. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So I'm outside resting from all that I did yesterday, and it's a nice breeze blowing. It just feels wonderful out here. But um I have an unhappy pup. Yeah. Let me show you. All is good in your marshy hood. Yep. Let me show you this unhappy pup that I have. Let me see if I can turn this around. Um, see how this is going to work. You see all my contraption I've got around here. Do you see? Do you see? Got something in my eye. Probably pollen. Anyway, if you see Maggie, she is not happy with me right now. She is working on crate training. Um, yeah, she is not happy with me right now at all. But you know what? It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Oh, I forgot to turn my light off. Anyway, I usually turn my light on first thing when I hit the floor in the morning because she needs to go out. So, yes, she must. She must. She is not happy with me right now. So, um, last weekend, how many of you all were affected by the internet outage that we had last Sunday? Yeah, the cell phone outage, the internet outage, the cell phone outage um, hit the entire. Um, hey, SOP, how are you? Thank you so much for joining me. Anyway, the cell phone outage last Sunday for the entire north half of Louisiana and southern half of Arkansas. There was a cell phone outage and an internet outage last Sunday. So I had no internet. And the cell phone outage created, if you did not have cash, you could not do transactions at the businesses in North Louisiana or South Arkansas. Yeah. So if you didn't have cash, you were screwed. Yeah. So I did have cash. Um, that's one of the things that I learned previous previously, right? I always keep an amount of cash on hand for situations just like that. So we were able to get whatever we needed because we had cash on hand. Normally, I would not have cash on hand. um, I would just use my debit card or my credit card. That wasn't happening last week. No, no businesses um, were able to take credit card transactions or debit card transactions because of the cell phone outage. Hey, agoraphobic Adam, how are you? Thank you so much for joining me today. I miss you all. I missed y'all. Yes, I did. I'm drinking my coffee. Yes. So, I wasn't able to do a live stream last week. Um, and um, it was eye opening because I had debated on whether to keep yes, the porch light is on, Adam, because I forgot to turn it off. Okay. I just forgot. Usually when I wake up in the morning, it's before daylight, and I cut that light on up there, wherever it's at. Anyway, I cut that light on so I can let her out, and I forgot to turn it off. Yes, I did. So let me adjust the screen just a little bit so I won't be. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So about the cash on hand, right? I had debated on whether, there's always, um, you think, well, it's kind of inconvenient, right? To make sure that you always have cash on hand. So, you know, uh, if something happens and I use the cash that I have on hand, it's kind of inconvenient to make a special trip um, to go replenish that cash that you have on hand. Well, so I had debated, I don't really need that cash on hand. Oh my gosh. Well, yeah, I think that's you know, you always need to have cash on hand. Last weekend proved that to me because there were the hey, you stop. You stop. You're going to stay in the crate. You're just going to stay there. So it's not up for discussion. Okay. She's not happy. Anyway, it's inconvenient. You use the cash that you have on hand, and my bank is like an hour from me. I haven't relocated my bank. Um, just putting it off or whatever. Um, so it's inconvenient to go to the bank um, to replenish the cash that you have on hand. Well, last weekend, um, reiterated the fact that you always need to have cash on hand because it wasn't happening. If you didn't have cash, you weren't able to do any transactions. So I spent the week working on a huge project for work, and I put in more hours than I should have, right? Can I say? Oh my gosh. Maggie, no. And when I leave, I put her in the crate, Miss Maggie, and she doesn't like to be in the crate. She's not used to being in the crate. So I have upped her crate training. And Threads and Jars, Southern Ohio prepping. You're such a smarty pants. Anyway, reallocated, um, moved my banking, um, the bank that I'm associated with. I haven't relocated or reallocated it to a local bank. It's still an hour from me. Anyway, so about Maggie. Threads and Jars had mentioned how big her ears were, and I think she's growing into her ears. Yeah, she is growing by leaps and bounds. I have allergies, and that's why I keep clearing my throat. So it's not that I'm on drugs or anything like that. You know, somebody made a comment on one of my videos. Why do you keep clearing your throat? Well, I have allergies. So it's not, um, usually somebody that keeps clearing their throat is on drugs. Well, I'm not on drugs. So I have allergies. That's why I keep clearing my throat. Anyway, when I leave, I put her in the crate and she gets highly, highly upset. So I've upped her crate training. Um, so she is spending a portion of every day in the crate. Yeah. So I cannot have a spastic dog on my hands. Yeah. But she's so stinking smart. Oh my gosh. Anyway. So what have I been doing since for the last, 2 weeks? Because I didn't get to do my live stream last Sunday. So I finished the fence, or a combination of me, Josh, and Spicy. We finished the fenced in area for Maggie so that when I let her out, she doesn't roam 13 acres. She will. Yes. Um, and we got the storage building put together. This is one of those Arrow storage buildings that has 5,642 screws. Yes. Yes. We got a base built for it. Well, Josh did. Um, and nothing is square, right? Nothing. That's all right, because when you're a professional, you can make those uneven squares. Only certain select few people can do that. I am one of them, and so is Josh, right? So we got the base built. We got the building put together, and then he got the bottom of it sealed because I want to put my freeze dryer in there, and I don't want water when it rains to be able to come underneath the building because it's sitting on a base. So he's been working on sealing the bottom so that no water can go under. And I think we have it um, correctly sealed on the bottom. I want my freeze dryer to go out there. I want all my dehydrators to go out there. I want non-perishable food storage to go out there and some other things. So I've started relocating that stuff. Um, and then I haven't taken everything out of the camo camper yet because I'm trying to get everything out of here first. Yes. And then let me show you. I'm going to pick y'all up and take you with me. So hopefully you won't get dizzy. I'll try to prevent that from happening. Try to hold this with one hand so I can point. So there's the cabin over there. And the unhappy pup she just does not like a crate, but yeah. So there's the cookery. I call it the cookery. Um, this double burner thing is going to be used for outdoor canning. Maggie, you stop. And all of this cookery area is going to be moved over to where it's underneath the um, canopy thing. And then where's it at? My pointer is not working. The cabin, and Josh has um, started on the inside of the cabin. And we have, so this is what I want to get to. All that area right there with the tractors and all of that, and then this shed, um, I'm going to relocate that shed. Yeah. We're trying, Mouse Toes. Dang it, it's hard. You know? You can see the roof thing. It is a lifesaver. Um, because I have an outdoor area that's covered, you know. Hey, Food Forest Permaculture, how are you? Thank you so much for joining me today. Anyway, um, so the little shed. So let me tell you the story about that little shed, right? Back in the day when my mom and Pap, who is Mom's husband, was alive, that shed was put up, I don't know, it's probably been 15 years ago, maybe. Um, and it was put up as a storage area for the hunt. This is where we came to hunt every year. So that shed was put up, and that's where we parked the camper that we brought when we hunted. And then also, well, first of all, it was a tent, right? We would come up here and stay um, several days at a time in a tent. And then that would be the storage area for the camp or the hunt. So after the tent um, period of time, there was a camper that was brought up here, and it would be parked in front of or along the side of the shed. There, it was generator. There was no electricity on this property, no running water on this property. Um, so we would be here for probably, I think, 2 weeks at a time during the hunt. So that shed has been there for a very, very long time. Very long time. So when I put this camper here, and then Josh put the cabin there, that shed is an eyesore. Plus, the tractors, the generators, the zero turn, all that stuff, the tiller, all that stuff is over there by the shed. So I mentioned to Josh, I said, I really need that shed to be moved over to on the other side of the cabin. Oh my gosh. You'd have thought that I told him, I need your femur, or I need your kidney, or I need the left side of your lung or something, because the look on his face was, Mama, we can't move that shed. I said, why? What are you talking about? We can't move the shed. Well, it's old. I said, yes, I understand that it's old. Um, you know, he said, Mama, you can't take that shed apart and move it. I said, I understand you can't take it apart. I understand that. But, and it's on a base that is, he is tired, Mouse Toes. Oh my gosh, that boy. It's on a base that is rotten. There are sections of the base that is rotten. So it's going to have to be unscrewed from the base that is there. Everything's going to have to be taken out of it. And then you move the shed whole in its entirety. He doesn't get what I'm saying. right? Yeah. So that's going to be a project that I may get my daughter to come up here and help me with. Um, the hardest thing about it, I think, is going to be taking everything out of it because there's stuff in there that's pretty heavy. So, anyway, in the future, that shed will be moved because, dang it, it will be moved. Okay. If I have to take that Kubota tractor and push it over where I want it to be, it will be moved one way or the other. That's what Josh seems to forget about his mother. Just saying. So let me pick you up and turn you around one more time because I'm going to show you something else. Bear with me, y'all. Bear with me. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. No dizziness allowed. Anyway, so that is my view, right? Sitting on my deck here that is attached to the camper. So that is the view. Let me see. Over here, right? There's a ditch that goes across the property from one side to the other. And then this area right here is where I want to have the raised beds. This area right here is a clear shot. Can I tell you? Clear shot from this deck. And that's where my backstrap walking comes to visit every stinking day, right? So when I get this shed and I move it over to the other side over there, this area right here on the other side of this little fence, I don't know if you can see that in the camera or not, but there's a fence for Maggie, a fenced yard. That area right there is where I'm going to put the next cabin. Yes, I am. Hey, JIT, how are you? Oh my gosh. I hope you are feeling better, my friend. Yes. The next cabin. So I have already priced the next cabin. The cabin that Josh is finishing, remember, I don't know if you remember back in the day in Louisiana, right? It's a 12 by 32 cabin. So the next cabin that I purchase is going to be a 16 by 40. And it is going to be my cabin. This is my cabin as well. But Josh is finishing the inside of it because that's where Josh is going to be living. We're going to get rid of Josh's camper. I'm going to get rid of the Mallard camper. The camo camper, it needs to be, I think we're going to, I don't know, that's going to be a project for Josh to take it down to the frame and build whatever he wants on the frame of the camo camper. That's going to be a DIY project or whatever. Yes. So when I get that shed moved over to the other side, on the other side of the cabin, the 12 by 32 cabin, I'm going to purchase a 16 by 40 cabin, and that's where it's going to be put. Because this is where I'm going to be, right? The camper, my RV, is big, but I want a full-size kitchen. And I want a full-size bedroom. And by God, I'm going to have it. So I'm going to get a 16 by 40 cabin, and I'm going to put it along there, and it's going to be in front of the RV. The The RV will still be here because I don't want it moved. It can be moved because I didn't block the back end of the camper. So the front of the RV butts up to the 12 by 32 cabin, and you have to go in with a tractor or whatever and pick it up and back it out. So I didn't block in the back end of the RV. It's a fifth wheel. It's freaking huge. So I don't intend to own it to be moved. That's why I put the canopy over the top of it to protect the roof. But there's going to be a 16 by 40 cabin put there with and it's going to be a side porch kind. The porch is not going to be on the end like it is on the 12 by 32 cabin. It's going to be on the side because that's what I want, and that's what I'm going to get. Josh was like, no, we don't have room for another cabin. Yes, we do, because that shed is going to be moved. It is. You're itchy all over to get back into creating with your friends. You need to, JIT. Oh my gosh. A big metal building with a huge ceiling. Absolutely, Mouse Toes. Absolutely. And let me turn you around one more time since I'm yakking about stuff, you know. Let me see if I can turn you around and show you where I'm referring to. All right, so hang on. My foot's in the way. My foot's on the cord. Anyway, when you go, let me see where I'm at. So you go out there over to this area. Behind this set of trees, there is a cutout area that I think that's where we're planning on putting like a shop. It's a big, I don't know, some kind of something for all the tractors and Josh's woodworking and stuff like that he likes to do. I think that's where we're going to put that. But it's going to have a covered area for the tractors and the zero turn and the tiller and the four-wheelers. All of that stuff is going down there in that. So, not that I want very much, JIT, right? There's not a lot that I want, you know? But by God, I'm going to get a 16 by 40 cabin, and that's where it's going to be. Come here, lip the governor. Just saying. So, that's what I got. That's what I got coming. Josh's face. Oh my gosh. When I said, we need to move that shed because it's old. It needs to be repainted. Yes, that would make it look prettier. But it's in the way. And everything accumulates right there. And I would feel better if it was on the other side of the cabin. So Josh's face was like, no, we can't move that shed. Oh, but yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yeah. So I don't know that he'll be participating in that. But I'm going to move the shed. If I have to, I can drive that Kubota tractor and I will push that mug out of the way if I can't get it out of the way. Yes, I will. Just saying. Yeah. I'm not going to do it right away because Josh has done so much work getting the deck, building the steps. Holy crap, y'all. Let me show you. Hang on, y'all. Just hang on a minute. There's Maggie. and her unhappiness. I don't know if you can see. So we put the steps right here. And there is the bottom bar. I had mentioned the bottom bar too because the ground slopes here. The bottom bar created a problem with building the steps going down. Yeah. So he had to kind of redneck engineer some steps to go down. But they are super, super sturdy because I told Josh, I said, in the morning, I'm not a morning person. I know that surprises y'all, but I'm not a morning person. Although, I wake up at like 5 o'clock, but I'm usually growling when I wake up. So, yeah, anyway, just saying. So when I come out to bring Maggie out, I'm not really awake and I don't want to stumble. So I told him, I said, if there's anything that will cause me to stumble, it's going down those steps if they're not sturdy. So he made sure that the steps are good and sturdy and solid, and yeah, because his mama's gripey in the morning. Just saying. Yes, I don't people that early in the morning either, mouse toes. Yeah. Um not that I'm, you know, um cantankerous or whatever. I just don't do a lot of talking, you know? So, hey Barb, how are you? Oh my gosh, I think this is the first time you've ever joined me on a live stream. How are you, lady? Where are you painting today? Yep. I am Barb is an artist. She paints in oil and acrylics and watercolor, um, and is fantastic. And uh, I actually still watch um, Barb's painting. You know, um, oh, I bet back in the day, Barb and some friends actually got together in Tennessee and we spent a week painting. Southern Ohio Prepping says, I have no choice. Charles has to go to school still. No choice for what? Peopling? Um, I mean, I don't have a problem. Like I go to work early in the morning, but I don't have to talk to anybody. That's my problem. I'm not a talker, and I don't wake up all bright eyed and bushy tailed because I say if that's what you want, go find you a squirrel. Yeah. Anyway, yes, peopling, absolutely. Yes, he must early people. It is hot, Barb, but it is not as hot as it has been. Um, and the temperature is lower than it has been. The fall of the year has hit, although in southern Arkansas, um, the the growing season is extremely long, and the humidity is lower because it is the fall of the year. Um, and I have the cover over my RV, um, and it's shaded, and there's a breeze blowing, and it's freaking fantastic out here. It is fantastic. I love it. And I can sit and wait for the critters to come out over the back 40, as I call them. Josh mentioned that he was going to have to bush hog the back of the property, and because we need we need clear um, we need clear aim. Yes, until the winter storms come. Hopefully, like last year, I was in Tennessee and the freaking snow was outrageous. I mean, it was just crazy. Yes, mouse toes. Yes. Spicy was out here the other day, and it was late in the evening. He actually came to get my hotspot to see if it would work at his house because he is in a complete dead zone. So it was late in the evening when he got here. It was probably around 7ish, maybe. There was like 6 deer out there in the back, and he was like, "Oh my gosh, look at him! Just look at him!" Yeah. Happy Sunday, Food Forest. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you so much. Anyway, so the hopefully the raised beds, I can put them out there in the area that I want. But anyway, I was saying the moving the shed is not going to happen right now because Josh has started on the inside of the cabin. So I'm not going to put anything else on his plate so that he has time to do what he needs to do to the inside of the cabin. Yep. And it'll be a while before I start um, on the relocation of that shed. But anyway, it's going to happen. You know, hide and watch, as they say. Jack said, "No, no, no, you can't do that." Yes, you will. Yeah, I will. Barb, he got started on it. He's not here this weekend, so he got started on it um, after he finished my steps, and he hasn't gotten very far on it um, yet. But I will do periodic updates on what he does to the inside of the cabin. And that cabin, I don't know if you were here earlier, Barb, but that cabin is a 12 by 32. So there's going to be, after I get the shed, the little small shed there in front, after I get it relocated, um, there's going to be a 16 by 40 cabin put in this area. And that's going to be mine. You know, that's going to be where I'm going to be. Because I would like um, a full size kitchen. I would like a full size bedroom. And um, that's what I want. So that's what I'm going to do. Yep, yep. So I think she finally calmed down, y'all. She's not happy with me. Yep. The thing about it is, let me show you. Let me show you Maggie. And I know I left my light on, so let me show you. She finally calmed down. She's like, okay, I've resigned myself to be in this stinking crate. Yeah. Because when I go to town or I go um, somewhere, that's because the cat is gone. What cat? What cat? Southern Ohio prepping. Um, when I go to town, I lock her in the crate because I don't want her to mess anything up while I'm gone. You know, like chew things because she's a puppy. So puppies chew. So I put her in a crate, and she's not happy. She doesn't like being in the crate, so she needs to understand. Anyway, so that's what that process is about. Yep. Oh, there was a cat by the woods. There is a cat next door. Yeah. Um, it's like a white, I don't know what kind of cat it is. Anyway, I don't do cats. Um, Not that I have anything against cats, but you know, I had Callie all her life, and Callie liked cats, said cats taste like chicken. So I've never been able to have a cat. That's why. So anyway, there is a cat next door, and it does come this way occasionally. So that's probably the cat that was out there. But anyway, yes, puppies are very challenging, and um, they are mouse toes. From what I know of them, they're not. Um, they stay gone a lot, so they're not here um, very often, and so it's really very, very quiet in this area. You were watching Led Zeppelin videos. Awesome. Thank you for joining me, Jay. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's what I hear about cats. Um, that you don't own them, they own you. But like I said, Callie never would um, be allow a cat. Um, so I've never been a cat person. I've always had dogs, and um, Maggie, she's not real. Um, well, of course, the cat next door hasn't been close enough to find out if Maggie would try to eat her alive, but Callie would. Oh my gosh, Callie would like, yeah, I need that cat on a plate. Yep, yep. Anyway, so I'm kind of been all over the place with my talking, and sorry about that. Thank you, Barb. Thank you so much for joining me. Just trying to catch up and let everybody know where I've been and what I've been doing, because last week was a fiasco with the internet. It was just crazy. But anyway, I was not able to get any of my raised beds put together and put where I want them. So um, that is um, something that's on the list to do. There's only so much you can do when you work, 10 hours a day. Um, Here lately, work has been outrageous. Oh my gosh. But, you know, um, the overtime is welcome, especially when you have a lot of extra expenses coming up. So I'm not turning the overtime down. um, I did have cats when I was little, Jay, growing up as a child, but since I got my first lab, um, I haven't had cats since. So yeah, they didn't seem to g-haul real well, and I haven't had cats since. But there is a cat next door, and it'll come out over, occasionally or whatever. Oh, right. Coffee. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Gotta have it. Gotta have it. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So it'll be Josh will be back sometime this evening, maybe. Um, and then he'll continue to do um, the work on the inside of the cabin. Um, he's got it, the design or whatever, the bedroom, the bathroom, the kitchen area or whatever, kitchen living room. Uh, he's got it all sectioned off where he wants the walls and all that. that the what is that stuff? Insulation. The insulation needs to be added to, so he'll be doing um, that work, and I'll be helping him as I can, of course. And then later on, after he, gets it to where he can actually live in it, that's when we'll be getting rid of his camper and the Mallard camper, and then decide where we're going to put the camo camper so he can work on it. He's going to take it down to the frame. Yes, I still have that freeze dryer thingy. um, I was saying earlier, we got the storage building, that one of those Arrow storage buildings put together on the base, and uh, he got the bottom of it sealed to where it's waterproof in there. Not waterproof, but water resistant, should I say. Um, and that's where my freeze dryer is going to go. I'm not real sure how that is going to work in the summertime. I know in the wintertime it's not going to be a problem, but the freeze dryer puts off heat. So um, I don't know yet how it's going to work in the summertime. I may, I'll be testing that as I go over the summer of next summer. I may have to open the doors and put a fan, because the freeze dryer can overheat if it's in a small area and it gets too hot. So I may have to put a fan in the door or something to keep it ventilated um, while it does its thing. But I've got several things that I want to freeze dry for long term storage, and then um, um, well, it's not like a dryer, JIT, that you can vent to the outside, um, but it does put off heat. So um, I need to keep the air moving so that it doesn't overheat. So I'll be playing around with that. Um, Josh had mentioned that um, we could insulate the inside of that storage building. That may be something that we look at doing later on, but I'm pretty excited. I want my freeze dryer out there. I've already started moving things out of the camper, the RV. Hey, Sherry, how are you? Oh my gosh, you're in Georgia? Wow. Yep. Awesome. Awesome. I know I saw on your live stream the other day that you were taking your first trip in 2021, and I hope that you are um, feeling much better. Install a sunlight above it that can be opened. That way the heat goes right out the window. That's a good idea, SOP. Yep, it sure is. It's a very good idea. Um, but he had said something about trying to insulate the inside of it. My hair is just driving me crazy. But I like it. I like the wind. I like the breeze. I like sitting under the cover, um, and being able to look all the way to the back of the property. It's freaking awesome. Yep. Um, the um, the canning the storage area. I've got some things that are um, I've got freeze dried stuff in the big half-gallon jars, like the freeze dried ground beef and the freeze dried chicken. Um, that is delicious, right? Um, I have those there in storage in here, and I've started moving things that I have in here, moving them to the storage building. So that's going to free up space in here, from moving from Louisiana to Tennessee and then working on the property in Tennessee, which we still have, by the way. So that's always a place I can go. And then moving from Tennessee to here after mom passed away. So I've had stuff, in here in the storage that can be moved to the storage building. So I'm pretty excited about that. And so getting that set up to where I can do the freeze drying in the storage building, because people put them in garages, right? Um, well, people in the north, not people down here, but people in the north, because you don't have all the heat. Put them in garages and stuff like that to be able to do your freeze drying and all that. So I hope to be able to start doing that again. And then after I get the raised beds installed and I get produce, and it starts producing, I'll have a place to go and freeze dry my vegetables and stuff. And then do my canning and, you know, that sort of thing. So I'm excited. I'm excited. I finally feel like it's moving forward. Um, and we're not so down in the trenches, buried. Go away, fly, go away. Shoo, fly, shoo. We're not so buried under trying to get everything situated and arranged. I finally feel like it's, we're at an even keel. Um, there's been so much on our plate since we got here. And with the hours that I work, it's hard for me to help Josh after I get off work. You know, I'm just like, do you have to do that today? Because, like, I'm tired. Anyway, and that's and that's one reason why I had to stop doing my live streams on Thursday, because after I got off work, 9 times out of 10, that's the day before the weekend, and most of the time I'm working late that day. So yes, yes, mouse toes, yes, one step at a time. That's right. That is right. I finally feel like, there's a place for everything, you know. And then it's strange because, like, the school next door, it's shut down, right? They sold it several years ago. There's no people. There's no people here, right? The people next door, they're not here very often. Um, so there's no people, and it's quiet. It is super, super quiet. I mean, the loudest thing you have is Maggie barking. But yes, it is. It is, mouse toes. Oh my gosh. So, and then you have, so this is a very rural area. There's no red light here, you know. There's one convenience store, and they only have a select few things, right? So you hear people sighting in their guns, um, getting ready for deer season that will be starting soon. So you hear people out sighting in their guns and um, getting ready for the hunting season. And oh my gosh, there is like deer everywhere. You know. The thing about it is, though, one thing that I find interesting is, I mean, we are way far in the South, right? I don't know about all that, JIT. I don't know about all that. But we are way far in the South. So back when FLP and I used to talk, and the hog population, we used to talk about the hog population. I have not seen any hogs here. I know they're in North Louisiana, right? But as far as here, I have not seen any. It's really interesting because I thought surely that there would be evidence of hogs in this part, you know, in this part of the state or whatever. But so far, I haven't seen any evidence of hogs. I would like to. I would like to know that they're there for reference, just to know that they're there. But I haven't seen any evidence or anything. Turkeys, yes. I've seen turkeys and deer every day, Um, but I just find it interesting that I haven't seen any hogs. So I don't know. Anyway, just things that float through my brain, right? But anyway, oh my gosh. So that's what I've been up to. I hope everybody is doing well. JIT, I hope you're feeling better. Mouse Toes, it was awesome to see you, lady. Southern Ohio Prepping, awesome to see you as well. But I'm going to close out. Yes, they can, Mouse Toes, they can. Yeah. In North Louisiana, there was hogs everywhere, and I could see them. But here I haven't been able to see them. So yep. Anyway, y'all, I'm going to close out this live stream and get on with my day. And he is yeah. SLPsecurities.youtube for watching properties. Awesome. Thank you, JIT. Thank you. Thank you. Anyway, I'm going to get on with my day. I got to go refill my coffee cup because it's like almost empty and, need more coffee. Need more coffee. Anyway, y'all, thank you so much for joining me. And I will see you in the next video. Have a great week, everybody.